Hi, I'm Steve Good and welcome to my Scroll Saw Workshop. As many of you know, I received a new Excalibur EX-21 scroll saw the other day, and I wanted to put together a video tonight to just give you my first impressions of the saw. This is not really going to be a review because I just simply haven't had the tool long enough to give a fair review of how the product works. I've used it quite a bit in the last day, and I think I have a pretty good idea of where I stand with it. But maybe sometime in the future we'll come back and give it a little better complete review. I've received a lot of email from people wanting me to compare the Excalibur to the DeWalt, and that's a pretty common thing to want to do simply because their lineage comes from the same background, and the saws have a lot of similarities, but there's a big difference in price between the two saws, and I'm not sure it's a fair comparison. But I'll do a little bit of that, and I'll just let you use your judgment on what you think about the price difference. So with that, I'm going to get in here and show you a couple of my likes and dislikes about the saw and the accessories that I received with it. This is the Excalibur EX-21. Before I get too far into it, I just want to give you some of the specs of the saw. The EX-21 has a 21-inch throat, which is its cutting capacity from the back of the blade to the back of the saw. The table is 13.5 inches wide by 23.5 inches deep. There is 4.5 inches from the front of the blade to the front of the table. It is a adjustable speed saw with the speed adjuster right here on the front, the on-off switch right in front of that. It does come standard with a blower assembly, quick release blade tension up front with a lever, and we have a tension adjustment knob in the back, but from what I've found so far, you really never have to touch that. This is kind of a unique design right here on their tension lever, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. It uses a thumb screw, so it's toolless blade change, and again, that works pretty well. I think I will go ahead and order the round thumb screws. I never have liked these T-style thumb screws similar to what came on the DeWalt, so I'll probably be upgrading that. Let's see, what else? The saw weighs in at 65 pounds, which is a good heavy weight to help keep the vibration down. I purchased the optional stand with the saw. The stand went together flawlessly, and it's a very durable, sturdy stand, so I'm real happy with that. I think I will be adding a shelf down here on the bottom rungs just to give myself a little storage space down there. Each side of the saw comes with a place to store blade tubes. I probably won't use that. I don't find that very useful for me personally because I already have blade storage at hand. I also purchased as accessories the foot switch, which I'll show you in a minute, and the magnifier lamp that's attached to the top of the saw. And that's pretty much the specs. Now I'm going to get into detail on each different thing. I think I'll begin by talking about the accessories that came with the saw, and for that I'm going to start out with the magnifier lamp. And you can see the lamp has a shield over the top. When I first put this together, for some reason this cover rattled quite a bit, but that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore. I'm not sure what was going on there. The magnifier is probably about, let's measure it, I think it's about 3.5 inches wide, and yeah, 3.5 inches, and that's plenty big enough for doing your fine detailed work. I don't use a magnifier real often, but this one seems plenty sufficient to me. It uses a circular lamp in here, and the quality of the lamp is great. I like it much better than the other lamps that I've used on my other scroll saws. I find this very bright and a very nice light to work with. Now here's the negatives. Two negatives I've found so far with this lamp, and I think they're both fixable without any problem, but it's something that I'm just not very pleased with. The clamp or the bracket that holds this lamp to the side of the saw, so far for me has done a terrible job of holding it in place. This lamp wants to move way too easy, and it'll fall over like this, and I found myself, just to compensate, to just go ahead and lay it over to begin with, because I'm not using the magnifier anyway, so all I have to do is have the lamp on, so I just lean it over and let it stay there. If I was going to use the magnifier, I would definitely have to find a better way to make this tighter. I've had to tighten the screw down several times just to keep it in place. The lamp comes with an on-off switch that's mounted on this little mouse-shaped thing back here in the back. It has a magnet attachment that, to be honest, I didn't think came with my purchase when I got it, because it's so weak it really doesn't hold it any place that I needed it to be. So what I did is I just tie wrapped it up here on the top arm of the saw, and that's worked out fine. I have no problem with that. The cord's plenty long enough to reach any place you want it to go. So I like the quality of the magnifier. It's built well. The only thing I don't like is the bracket, and I'll probably be working on some type of fix for that here pretty soon, because I can tell already that's going to irritate me. Okay, now let's talk about the foot switch. This is the foot switch that I ordered with the saw, and again, I ordered my saw and accessories from Seiko at seyco.com, and this is the foot switch that they offer. Not a whole lot to say about a foot switch. This one is fine. It's nice and big, easy to get your foot on. Has the mounting brackets right here to mount it to the floor or a wood stand, which is what I'll be doing. I sit on a high stool when I scroll, so I generally need the foot switch elevated a little bit, and that's another project I'll be working on here real soon. But a fine foot switch, have no problems whatsoever with it. Now I want to talk about one of the primary selling features of the Excalibur line of scroll saws, and that is that it has a tilting head to do bevel cuts as opposed to a tilting table. All other scroll saws that I've ever used, when you adjust the bevel of the table, that's how you do your bevel cuts. On this one, the table stays level and the head pivots. And the way you do that, and I'll give you a close-up of this in a minute, is you loosen the thumb release down here, and it has a rack and pinion type system that allows you to very smoothly pivot this head either left or right. I haven't used this feature enough to be able to really review it. Just made a couple test cuts with it. I don't have any problems with it that I've seen so far, but I really didn't have any problem when I used to have to tilt the table either. So I don't know how important this feature will be to you. It depends a lot on the type of scroll saw work that you do, but it is a unique feature to the Excalibur, and I wanted to show it to you. The one thing I will say is that the rack and pinion system that it uses under here to tilt this saw is very well made, and it's a very smooth adjustment, and I can say that I really like that particular build quality of this saw.